Hello everybody, and hope all is well. Welcome to another video with Finance with Jay. Thank you very much for the first subscriber, whoever that is. I would love to give you a kiss on the lips. But yeah, to business. Cool. So realistically, not too much of a change in terms of portfolio size. I did do one order recently, and that was for 100 shares of not 100 shares. That was £100 in IITU. So iShares is S&P 500 technology companies. Did an order of that just to bulk it up to the shares I wanted to, which was 200. We reached that, so we're at a good spot with that, which I will just show you right over here under history. And then we go on here and we can see I've done a purchase order for 4 shares of iShares S&P 500. So all's pretty good on that end. I guess what you also would have saw there, which I guess is partly the reason for this video, was I did place an order for Fiverr. That was more of an emotional one. I was like, do I buy Fiverr, more Fiverr, or do I just kind of hold off and wait? And I'll get into that a little bit. So I guess to start that off, we have got some Fiverr holdings, as I showed last time in my portfolio. I think we're in the red now, slightly, very slightly in the red. I think that might be just due to FX. Okay, no, it's both. Very minor down on that. Not much at all in that. As we can see over the past sort of 3 months, it had a nice little spike, and then it's gone back down. And I think over a year it's done that. So it's gone up, down, generally gone down. So I guess the point of this video was to get everyone's thoughts on Fiverr, if it's worth if you guys are investing in it, or maybe it's something you're staying away from. I would like to preface my investment choices. Please do not follow my investment choices. I would preferably not want to recommend anyone individual holdings. They can never recover again. You could put your money in a stock, never get it back again. So if I am doing individual stocks, please don't copy them unless you are happy with them from your own point of view, without my interpretation of that. So that's that pretty much. And also, I'm not a financial advisor. I guess I will say that as well. But yeah, I've got how many shares? I think it's 22 shares in Fiverr. A decent position, nothing too great, nothing too grand. At their peak, they were trading at around $323 a share. That was straight after IPO. So IPO, stable, massive growth. That was during COVID period. It was a big time for freelancers and whatnot, just due to people sitting at home, not being able to do, people getting furloughed, and it booming. We've seen a massive decline, obviously, in the share price value. It's gradually gotten down, and it's gone further down in the red. So generally not a good sign. I guess I don't mind investing in Fiverr. I think it's not a bad investment. And I guess I'll go over a little bit why I think that. As just, I guess, to clarify a little bit further, this is the year to date is minus 16%, so not good on that front. But I guess, in terms of their finances, I do have a slight bit of hope in terms of them moving forward. This is their shareholder letter, and I've done a bit of a scan of it before. But I guess just to show you guys my thoughts on them, 6% year-on-year revenue growth, 6% active buyers. All of their metrics are increasing. I guess also to show you guys, if I can't spell properly, if we go on stock analysis, I love this website. It's easy for me to just interpret data. It's FEVR for that ticker. Go on Fiverr, financials. It's a very nice way just to quickly see all of the statistics right on your screen. It's the first year they've been in the green. They've been red, minus, red, and then green, which is really positive to see. We go on trailing, quarterly. Let's do quarterly trailing, quarterly. So we can generally see an upwards trend here, right? Generally, we go back and back. Revenue's getting better. Gross profits getting better. Net income is starting to improve. Net cash flow slowly going up. There is a couple of months that's down, but generally in a good direction we want to see it in. Margins generally going to be the same in most sort of companies. They don't really change too much unless there's a massive restructuring in the industry they're in, or something changes. Generally it's going to be around the same mark for whatever, depending on industry are. Profit margins generally going up. I mean, we've seen 5%, 3%, but it's, you know, massively up from where we were a few years back. And, you know, balance sheet not looking too bad. Total assets 1 billion, 220 in liabilities. So definitely covering off that aspects. And even over here, operating cash flow has gone up. Investing cash flow, it's all over the place, to be fair. But yeah, I think generally it's a company that I'm pretty happy with going forward. It is definitely a bit of a rocky one. I wouldn't recommend people go out and buy Fiverr. I don't, like I said, I don't mind them. They've recently announced also a share buyback program. I think that is 100 million. Oh, where is it? It was listed somewhere. But yeah, so they've got up to 100 million, which will also improve our value of each shareholder. So each shares we have will improve in value because there'll be less out there on the market. So that's also a good thing. You know, they revised their revenue targets to be slightly better over what they expected. But overall, I think a decent stock that I would personally invest in. I would not recommend investing in this stock, I guess, from an outside lens, from other people. It's definitely more of a risky one. Like I always say in my previous video, stick to the S&P 500, stick to IITU, stick to most ETFs that give you a broad range in the market. Especially if you're new, don't be picking individual holdings, specifically if they're not, you know, large cap companies. This is a small cap company, very much more volatile. And you know, if you don't know what you're doing, I would definitely stay away from a stock like Fiverr. So that's pretty much it. I also, I guess, wanted to give a bit more context into the first video I did into why I started doing this channel. I realised I didn't really go too much into the why. I think for myself personally, I think like most people, you know, on this path to financial freedom is just wanting to, you know, accrue a net worth to the point where, you know, at the age of 40 or so, you know, you've got all the money in there, all the money in the pot. You can just sit back, relax. You've got all the money there, and you can retire at a younger age. I think that's one of the main drivers. And I guess the other driver is why I got into, you know, budgeting myself, you know, more frugally, living a little bit less. Not to the point where you don't have fun, but definitely monitoring what you're spending. And I guess it was just due to, you know, how I grew up personally. From my perspective, you know, growing up, we didn't have, you know, loads of money, you know, as kids and whatnot, and that's kind of given me the mindset of, okay, I want to reserve what I've got, and as time's gone on, I've opened up a little bit more in terms of spending a little bit more, but not too crazy, still keeping my savings rate really high. So that's pretty much it from that standpoint. Really just wanted to go over Fiverr, see what everyone's thoughts are on that stock. As I said, would not recommend people doing individual holdings from my personal opinions. If you want to do it, just, you know, do your own judgment on that, but do not take my personal opinion and then apply it to your own. That's not something I would want to do, and advise people just in case, you know, they lose all their money on the stock. I would much rather you put your money in an ETF like, you know, VUSA, like IITU, which has seen pretty much, you know, pretty good growth over the years. Even this one, probably going to remove that one over time, as I mentioned previously in my earlier video. Anyway, thank you very much for watching the video. I think that just about covers most of what I wanted to talk about regarding Fiverr. I hope everyone enjoyed the football game if you're from England. It was a shocker of a match. England played like they were drunk or whatever you want to call it, just not a good performance. And I hope everyone's enjoying the weather because that has started picking up. So yeah, thanks for watching. Have a good day. Bye bye.